the only reason Lex's plan is getting enacted is because Flagg just wants to fuck off Peacemaker forever.
The majority that didn't agree with us was just like, you're not giving points why. You're just saying that we're bad.
Welcome back to Cape Critiquers, everybody. Today we are talking about the season finale of Peacemaker Season 2, Full Nelson.
Gotta shut it off the same noise.
Yep.
And this isn't the second time we recorded this.
Nope.
I don't know. I just think we dislike this season and this episode for completely different reasons. Because, like, we knew it was coming to this point where, like, it just would not build to anything meaningful. And I still think, like, I was completely correct again, where, like, just not having the first episode completely set up where the characters are going, what they have to do, and having them all together. It's just like this whole season is just like, let's just confirm the thing that we knew at the end of season 1, where like they deserve to be together.
Yeah. And then just the idea that they would all go and start a company together, it just doesn't add up for me.
No, well, and at the speed in which it happened. And you had said earlier that the 2 concerts in this just took up so much time in this show. I mean, and that whole music montage of them building that whole business.
Like, I thought it
what
was
the
going to
hell?
be bad, but it was worse than I expected with the 2 concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just so disappointed in the way it was laid out, the way it played out, the entire season. I mean, I understand you want to build Peacemaker's character. You want to tell us a little more about Chris, but it took you 8 episodes. Yeah. We didn't see Peacemaker.
I don't think it told us more.
I feel like we didn't
And that's
really
what it
learn.
is. You didn't add anything.
I just watched season 1 again. And, I mean, blasted through a lot of it. And I got to tell you, we know about Chris.
Yeah.
We pretty much know everything. Now is the time.
I don't feel like we learned anything that new about any of these characters.
Yeah, I just think like every individual episode in season 1 just like tells its own story.
Right.
Yeah. And now it's almost like the whole thing with the other dimension with his good family turns out just to have him relive it all again.
Yeah.
The betrayals and then find out that maybe his dad's not a racist to you.
Well, it's funny that you say that because
Yeah.
I felt like I was reliving it all again.
Exactly.
Like the same story beat.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would have been cool if that was the theme for the season.
Yeah.
If it was them in Nazi world for the season, because you could play that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to build up to it and then kill it in 15 minutes in one episode and then throw us back to Chris.
There's just so much shit in this season, though, that like gets built up and ultimately goes nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Eagly,
Prime
the
Eagle.
Prime Eagle.
the whole Red St. Wild thing is nothing.
Nope.
It's just the whole season had to do with that whole what turns out to be a side story that we think is a main story going to the new dimension, just for Flagg to find the pocket dimensions to do what he wants to do, to get his agenda going.
That whole thing is so confusing to me too, because like I still like don't believe that he hates Metahuman.
Flagg?
Yeah. I mean, he just worked with them.
Yeah.
He fucks one in this series. I don't really think he hates metahumans that bad.
Yeah.
He also, it's weird because like people are like, oh, like he got manipulated by Lex, but it's like he brings the plan to Lex.
He does,
Yeah.
exactly.
And also
100%.
like
That's the
show
reason why
that
Lex
then
signs up.
like don't fucking
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
that for the next season.
I also think
or
it's super
whatever
weird that he's
show,
like
movie.
so chummy now with like Lex's goons.
Yeah, I don't know that. It's
Yeah,
just
what
like
was with that laughing fucking scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just weird.
And like if you're gonna do that, I need more context as to like why he's so
Chummy.
chummy.
The
with
only
them.
way any of this would make sense is that if Flagg was Clayface.
yeah.
I've seen some people say that, but
Where it's not really Flagg. It's
But isn't it? Hasn't the ship left? Isn't that done?
No,
now? We don't know. We don't know what he is.
That's the only, because to me, Flagg really wasn't a villain in this.
Yeah.
He was just an asshole.
It was 100%.
Him with whatever he's doing with Lex, and like you said, he just made it so easy to have all of Lex's crew just kind of like palling out together.
Yeah.
And turned his back on his original crew. Didn't even give a shit. They were dying.
Yeah, and
Going
Mustache Man is out of jail now.
Sydney Halpers.
Syd-
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean like even like Otis and everything.
So
They're
yeah,
out of jail.
I mean,
doing what they
that's
want.
going to be the only way they can save this is if Flagg is actually
Like I get what they're
Clayface.
trying to pull off with like
That's actually
the
not a bad thing.
Lex ultimately, despite getting arrested, like will usurp the government some way somehow and kind of just be a villain.
right.
But the whole storyline just like hinging on Flagg's revenge plot, it feels like a really weird choice to me.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he is Clayface.
But like why would Clayface give a shit to like Peacemaker in that universe. It doesn't
That's true.
Yeah.
add up.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, why would why would he make this system where fucking metahumans go to jail?
It's also so fucking convoluted where it's like, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't even do that, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so convoluted, too, because, like, Bordeaux's going to kill Peacemaker, and then Harcourt stops it, and Flagg's like, oh, I knew that she would do that. I've been planning this whole thing. It's like, since when, like, has he been this, like... I just wouldn't expect him to have, like, this much foresight to, like, be able to, like, leverage Luther's power and knowledge.
Yeah, this
I
was
guess
a
that's
dead
true.
storyline.
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up to me.
I'm sorry. Dead storyline.
And
from
that
the
they
beginning.
just basically brought that full storyline forward after episode 5.
Kinda, yeah. I think the biggest problem with it is that it's so rushed to the point where it's like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
We're just missing so much context.
I saw like an interesting parallel where with like the whole Zack Snyder stuff, the episode by episode plot was sacrificed for some overarching world building plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't do very good with that either.
It
No.
does suck
Yeah.
that like this kind of niche character-driven story of Peacemaker has turned into this vessel to just expand the universe.
Yeah,
And it's crazy to me because so many people online are like, I don't get, like, this is such a character-driven season. The character arcs in this season are so good.
I don't
And it's
see
like,
it.
what? Fucking Adebayo broke up with her wife, and that took an entire season, and we barely saw it.
We saw it in fucking
3 scenes.
And,
yeah, exactly.
And we had such hopes that the girlfriend or wife was going to be something in this, turn out to be a bad or something to that effect. And that was just another shit sandwich.
It's just nothing. Like, I love Adebayo as a character.
Yes.
I think her actor did such a great job this season, and
Agreed.
with what she had, just those emotional moments, whether she's talking to the wife or that scene where I really do love the scene where she's telling Chris, like, I don't know if anyone else in this world I can say, like, they love me like you do.
In
I
the
said
motel
that
room,
before.
right?
I
Like,
said
that's
Yeah.
what's
Her
so
monologue
great
there was-
about
yeah.
Peacemaker as a show.
That was the episode
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
That little discussion they had in the hotel bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
She just was. That was it. That was the high point.
Yeah.
Everything else in this.
I feel like it's immediately fucking... The legs are taken out from it, though, after he goes outside and he doesn't even give a shit. He's like, again, with Harcourt, like,
yeah.
did the
Yeah.
kiss mean anything? And then he's happy.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
what am I watching?
feel like even that scene though, it just didn't ring true to me because it's just like back to the thing I said last episode where it's just like they're saying it like therapists, like they're saying it too directly. There's no subtle reveals of like what they are feeling. They just say it.
Mhm.
And then to find out that it was just a kiss.
Yeah.
Also. That's all
I feel like it was
was.
so
Yeah.
strongly implied that it was like
Yeah.
They
sex.
slept
Yeah,
together.
Yeah.
most certainly.
Yeah.
But even at the end of season 1, she's in the hospital, and he stayed, 4 or 5 days, whatever. She reaches over and holds his hand. They already had that moment, basically, in my eyes, in season 1.
Yeah.
If
You know?
everyone was waiting for that line, did it
Yeah.
mean something to you?
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, you big idiot." It
Yeah.
meant everything.
Uh-huh.
They could have did that.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't really even give a shit about that, and seemingly so much of the emotional core of this season depends on that
Yeah.
moment.
But
Yeah.
it's like, without him hearing that, he was like
Yeah.
like a doofus.
It like, and that's why I go to the scene in the hotel, because to me it's like, I don't know, Chris has always been trying to find like love in a
And a
family,
family.
Yeah.
and we know that found family thing is like in Gunn's wheelhouse.
Right.
So that's kind of like where the best of this show's emotional beats lie for me, and I feel like we really didn't have a build up to that so much. Like, there is the whole thing of like, Chris, you can't stay in this universe. Again, I just feel like it's a kind of an issue of bad writing and then rushed execution.
100%.
there's like the whole scene where Harcourt is like about to lead Bordeaux into like Adebayo, and she asks her if she has Peacemaker clearance, and then it just does like this weird fucking fade to black transition. First time in like the entire show, I think, and it's just like such a weird transition. I don't know.
And they're at that burger joint.
Yeah, I didn't even
No, the
understand
transition
that.
Yeah,
happened
well-
at the house.
No, it's way after actually. Yeah,
Yeah, that was kind of a weird.
because it's
way.
just like 5
The fir-
seconds of
at-
blackness.
At first, I didn't even understand what she meant by it.
What's the first time they mentioned that Chris has the fucking explosive in the back of his
Still.
head?
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
like, also Flagg could have just blown him up at any time,
or
Yeah.
threatened
but he's,
to.
Yeah.
he's such a cunning villain that he's been planning to put him in this salvation
He's 10
prison.
years ahead of everybody.
Apparently,
I
but
don't
he
know.
was 10 years ahead of everybody, but he got fucking manipulated by Clayface.
Yeah.
No.
So
All right.
I can't. I'm sorry. It sucked. And I hate to say it,
Yeah.
it had its moments. And to do that to me, because I absolutely love all the characters. I love the actors playing the characters. Vigilante to me is
My
fucking
favorite.
hilarious.
We said that
My
he
favorite.
stole the show
He
in
is
a lot
unbelievable.
of episodes.
And
So
I
much
don't
more
know
so in
where-
season 1, though.
where they went with this at
Yeah,
all.
this season kind of just feels like James Gunn found like a loophole to just like have like Deadpool in the project and be able to write him
And write him,
constantly.
I have to say that after seeing this finale, it actually made me think less of the episodes prior to it, because there was no continuity through them at all. There was no storyline that I could still say they started, had the midpoint, and ended it. There's
this
no
was-
start
It's,
to
I
end.
one
agree.
of the most inconsistent
Yeah.
shows
And-
I think I've watched recently.
Is it just a vehicle to bring to you the movies and fill a spot?
I mean,
is it? Or
Yeah.
did
I don't
he
think
just,
it was supposed to be, but I he was clearly writing
Or was he
3
run
different
thin?
things at
Yeah.
once.
Yep.
Or was he
So-
run too thin?
Because
That's
we were talking about it
Yeah.
on the way. How does this in any way possible, except for the one cameo, connect this to Man of Tomorrow?
Salvation World.
But what happens there?
So in the comics, it's like this short run where Waller and Rick Flagg Sr. are just like, all these fucking villains just keep breaking out of prison, so we're just going to send them off to this like distant planet
Right.
that they can never harm anybody again. And in the comics, Lex is actually sent there, and it's like a big thing with like Lex and the Joker are kind of feuding to like lead this world, but then they eventually find out, I think it's Darkseid and like the Apocalypse crew or whatever the fuck kind of lead that world. So
And they didn't know that.
they
when
didn't know that. They thought it was uninhabited.
Right.
So people think Man of Tomorrow is going to be like all the metahumans are slowly put there, and Superman will probably, they'll probably try to get him there or something. And then also Lanterns is supposed to connect to it somehow too, because
I feel like I just can't trust James Gunn anymore. with
well,
what
in
he
the
says
comics,
like that,
there's a thing where like the Lanterns. I'm just gonna kind of scope out for a sec. We know that the Lantern show is gonna be like a criminal mystery type of thing where they're trying to solve some case. In the comics, the Lanterns find that Darkseid was like assassinated, and it has some connection to the Salvation World. So like they go in and figure all that out, and then they figure out the Salvation World stuff. So it's all slowly, loosely tying together, I think. But
No. No, I'm sorry.
So they leave Peacemaker there, and at the end we hear he looks at the woods, and we hear what sounds like dinosaurs or
Yeah.
something in the woods.
But you got to remember, they didn't leave Peacemaker anywhere. They left Chris there.
Yeah,
He doesn't have his,
100%.
he
He has
doesn't
nothing.
helmet. He
He
doesn't,
He doesn't have
anything.
Eagly, so
Yeah, he
Eagly's
doesn't-
going to fall
right.
into depression
They
again.
left.
well, he likes John now. The comic.
Yeah.
He does like
I think that was like the
down,
only
yes.
scene I liked.
Yeah.
yeah. Where he puts his.
I mean, they
That
left
was,
a large human being
Yeah,
on this world,
Yeah.
and
defend for himself. No food.
James Gunn also said like what Lex and the government are doing with this like Salvation World thing, it like won't go unnoticed basically. So I guess other heroes and metahumans will.
I could see it, but it doesn't impress me. Like to be the end of what this series was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh, we finally found the world. Now we could use it to put metahuman.
Yeah.
It's like big fucking deal.
Yeah, and going through how many other dimensions to not even worry about those, just to find the one that you want.
All 99 dimensions.
Yeah.
It's like
And
big
just finding the
fucking
one you
deal.
want. Nobody cares about the
I don't
dimension
know.
with the
96 of them are fucking
with the
kind of
Nazis
nothing.
in it. Nobody cares about the one where they lost somebody in. You know,
96 of those dimensions are just nothing basically. There's 3 of them that kind of matter.
Not good. Sorry, James Gunn.
Yeah, nobody went through the door with
and
the.
everyone that commented on our previous
Yeah,
videos.
nobody went through the door with the lizard guy.
hating on us
Yeah.
for not saying we love it. No, man, this is
It's just not it. Thoroughly disappointed because I feel like this is Gunn's first big miss
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
DCU.
Yeah.
I agree.
I still think Creature was bad,
I think it
but
was
not as bad.
better than this.
Yeah.
yeah,
At least it was more like there was some
Yeah,
semblance
there was
of
one like
structure.
ongoing story. Yeah.
right.
I mean, what a huge stark contrast between season 1 and this season.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It's
This was
more than night and day, honestly.
unreal. I was so disappointed when this final episode ended because all I kept thinking about was how the fuck did you drop the ball on this?
Yeah.
Because I was a huge fan. I became a huge fan since season 1,
Most certainly.
and he did nothing. This whole season was nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I said, the characters are awesome. the cast. I mean, you have a cast like I had recently read John Cena
Yeah.
is actually into it. He likes
Oh,
the
yeah.
superhero thing, and he's great at it. And his how do you drop the ball
I
is
mean,
right.
even
Yeah.
Danielle Brooks said she loves and she would love to continue with the character.
I'm sure that she will, because now she leads the #1 spy organization in the world.
That's
Yeah.
that's
so.
My other thing is, after this is completed, who the hell looks at it and says, "Oh, it's a really good story," or do they just say, "Now put the shit out"?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people too, where it's like, oh, I like season 1 better, but
Yeah,
like-
so many people
the finale wasn't great.
are also
but,
just like,
I still like this one. It's
the
like,
last episode was the actual finale, and everything before that is good.
Mhm.
That's what most people's consensus are, from what I've
I
seen.
I think again, I'm going to say it. This last episode made me think less of the.
I think there's a
preceding
lot
episodes.
of people that are just very afraid to be critical of it, like now, because like they don't want to vindicate the fucking Snyder bots.
Yeah, I'm
And-
going to say season 1 to me was a masterpiece. This is just again shit sandwich.
The whole like checkmate stuff doesn't even have like a reason why it's checkmate. Like,
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
them to have named
I don't understand what would have made them
Mm-hmm.
call it checkmate. Like I get that this like kind of theme of like everyone's always been telling us what to do, but now we're gonna take it into our own hands. But it's like I don't know. It just all feels rushed, especially to have built this whole company
And they
5
talk about
seconds.
11th Street crew the whole way through this season, and then they come up with checkmate with no explanation. It's just odd.
like
to
I
me.
would understand if they just called it 11th Street
Yeah,
Corporation or something.
It's only called checkmate because that's what it is in the comic.
that's what.
And
I
what I
figured.
was thinking
Yeah.
is like the checkmate actually like plays into it being a part of a dream sequence or whatever,
Mhm.
because it's like, oh, Peacemaker just got checkmated by fucking Flag, and I said that. I said it.
I know, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a dream.
all I know.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
All I know is when he got taken at the end, they pulled him, put the hood on his head. If they were trying to do that with Vigilante, they'd have been dead.
Yeah.
I don't believe how fucking easily they just kind of walked up behind this guy, grabbed him, and threw him in the
I also
back
don't
of
know
it.
why he's still in that motel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like he was on the run from anybody. He was let out of jail freely.
Yeah.
Just decided to live in a motel.
I feel like so many of the running jokes just failed. Like the animal effects could have been brought up in a much better way every single time. Like when Economist was stalling, if he just said something that he learned from Vigilante instead of just random shit.
Yeah.
And any time the Vigilante animal fact stuff was brought up, it just felt like he was like rewriting the same scene, just with different facts.
Yeah.
You know?
I also like the whole idea of like Bordeaux, Fleury, and
Judo Master.
Judo Master just like joining the team now, and I just don't feel like any of it was that earned. Like I kind of saw the writing on the wall, but
Yeah.
a big issue in this season for me is just a lot of shit happens and none of it feels earned.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Rushed, bad, whatever you want to say. The writing just wasn't there.
It's hard
There
to
were
even talk
moments, like I said, like the monologue, Adebayo's
Yep.
monologue, and
Mhm.
there were moments when Peacemaker and Harcourt were in that room,
Mm-hmm.
and she was crying. I mean, there was moments of really good writing,
Yeah.
but as a whole and as a story, over 8 episodes.
No.
And one of the biggest disappointments too was like we were like maybe at least it'll be like back written, and it doesn't even seem like it was.
No.
It just
I mean, wasted things. Flag Jr. I mean, that could have
Flag
been something,
Jr. is another one
you know?
where it's like where the fuck did he go?
Yeah, exactly. That just disappointed me because that could have added so
what
much.
you said
to
were
this.
like, he just hasn't showed up to work in 6 weeks. It's so fucking funny.
And he's supposed to run that office
Yeah.
practically, you know?
It was weird because the way episode 7 ended, I really thought that his brother from the other dimension would be coming back with like a fucking army
Yeah.
to go hunt him down.
Yeah, but like, what? He's just gonna show up at fucking like headquarters of Argus.
Yeah.
I would have been happy if he
Mm.
turned out to be in Salvation. If he showed up there, it was like,
Yeah, I think
oh,
that's
shit.
what's gonna happen now. Is
You
they're,
know?
I guess, somehow gonna find him
I'm
there.
not sure
Well,
anything that's going to
James
happen.
Gunn, they someone asked him, he did like a Rolling Stone interview, and they said, "So are we gonna find out the fate of Peacemaker and Man of Tomorrow?" And he was like, "No. I mean, you know."
Yeah, there's no
It's
rush
just
here.
terrible.
So
You know, it would have been cool if the brother would have came back with Flag Jr.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Flag would have been looking at his
It's
son going,
insane.
yeah.
How much like we just kept overestimating, like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
it's finally gonna, the
Yeah,
fucking
right.
boot's finally gonna drop.
Overestimating or just what plainly should have happened.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Come on.
We're giving them better stories than they gave us.
I think so.
I mean, also just like even with the checkmate thing, like Adebayo now runs one of the biggest spy organizations in the world. She has Amelia Harcourt and Economos like on her team.
Well, that's not what it is now. In the comics,
It is, but like also like those two are like two of the biggest agents in the world that like worked for Waller.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's also just that's what we know because Argus is like fucking just poorly shown, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like weird that there's been no mention of Waller yet to like have any connection to this. I don't know. Again, just like I kind of feel like we could have written this season better. I think Gunn might have been a little too focused on Commandos and Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little subtle thing when Harcourt called him Rick, and he kind of like wasn't paying attention.
First she said General, then she said Rick,
and then
she
looked at her,
and then she corrected herself again.
Isn't that what you wanted me to call you?
Yeah,
You know?
So she had that little insubordinate moment.
Yeah, but he had that like confused look about it.
Yeah.
Almost like as if.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's you're implying that's like a Clayface thing.
Yeah,
No.
if it wasn't
Is he
him.
Clayface or does he just like
Or
are we
to-
led to believe he just doesn't give a shit?
No,
I
see,
think
to
it's
me,
more so-
what I picked up from that scene is that he said, "Call me Rick," in a moment when he wanted something from her.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't
did it-
need her
He
anymore.
said it to Bordeaux too.
Yeah. Now he's done. He had the Bordeaux moment when she said, "No, I'm going to go elsewhere," and he just whatever, and turned away.
Yeah.
And off with the boys.
He's got his crew.
I feel like that's almost just like a nonsensical way to show that.
It kind of was, but that's what I got out of it.
Still though, like it just doesn't add up to me that like he would be hanging out with like Lex's crew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's planning ahead.
But
Yeah.
even what James touched on earlier, though, those weird, laughing, jovial moments when they were going through and finally getting what they wanted out of the doors and stuff like that. And people are getting murdered and killed out there, and they're over there by the computers laughing.
And doing coke.
Doing
And
coke.
cocaine. I mean, that was insane.
I
That
get
was just
what they're
insane.
trying to show.
Yeah.
Like,
They're lawless.
well, they're trying to show it's like there's this group, and then like here's the people actually on the ground, and
Yeah.
like Flagg is now wrapped up in this whole like Lex thing.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, fucking just a movie ago he was not sided with him, and
Right.
Yeah.
I'm expected to believe that he hates metahumans now
Yeah.
because the security of defense said to him, "Glad you're not so concerned with the metahuman thing because
Yeah.
you're running the show now."
I mean, even in this, he's like, "This is a very different stance from what you've been doing."
yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Bernie Sanders.
He does. It's Asian Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. And to be siding with Lex Luthor, I don't know. But it's just weird that, like, yeah, you can call it out, but there's something called lampshading. It's kind of like in Deadpool when it's like, that's just lazy writing. Where it's just like, you can call it out. That doesn't make it any better.
Yeah.
I mean, even his line with the punishment. He says, "What's their punishment? They're going to live on this world." He
Yeah.
goes, "I don't care about punishment. It's not
Yeah.
about punishment. It's just about getting them,
Get the hell out of
But
here.
that goes back to my point of like it's fucking really weird to just like hinge the future of the DCU on Flagg's plan to just send Peacemaker to a different dimension forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the only reason Lex's plan is getting enacted is because Flagg just wants to fuck off Peacemaker forever.
Yeah.
It's just a weird choice to like pin the whole thing on that.
Would have been
And
better
like people are saying like Flagg didn't do this big 180, but like there's just not enough context there for me to like actually believe
Right.
No, yeah, I'm
that
not
he
signing on
hates
to it.
metahumans.
I feel like in a regular show, like, Checkmate would have been formed at, like, episode 4 or something. And then they have this whole plan to stop them from
Yeah.
the whole portal shit, whatever, Salvation.
Yeah.
And then, like, it ends up going wrong, and he gets stuck in Salvation.
I just also want to say to my point, like, I don't think he gives a shit about metahumans at all still, because like even when he approaches Lex, he's like, I need like help with this Peacemaker thing, and Lex is like, if he's not a metahuman, why do you even care? And they already they have conflicting views about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so fucking dumb, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I said at the end of the episode. I was like, a fucking stupid ass.
Yeah.
When they started with the concert scenes and this and that, we were like glazing over. There was nothing to attach to on this. Nothing,
I feel like
you know.
so much of it just felt like a fucking, like, trailer.
Yeah.
Or it
Yeah.
just, like, the whole time just felt like the last, like, 5 minutes of a show where it's just, like, ending and they're playing the music and it's all just ending.
I wouldn't mind those scenes if we had a lot more time based on the actual story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're kind of using up a lot of time in a very short
Yeah.
and not giving us the story that we thought was going to be there.
I don't know. Just the whole fucking victory lap scene that's shot like a fucking medicine commercial.
Yeah.
Where one pill a day is everything to me. And they're all looking up at the sky. And it's so happy.
I just don't know why. Because,
Like,
again,
what-
like
I don't-
it's a victory lap without having anything to be victorious about. Like,
Yes.
they formed
they
this thing.
formed a
They
company
didn't do anything.
that didn't
with it.
stop anything.
Yeah.
And they're not telling us
We don't know
what
really
they're there to
what,
do.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
they're really doing.
We can imply what their
their job is.
there to
Yeah.
do.
What
from
are
the
their
comics.
risks opening something like this so
Yeah.
opened? I mean,
Also, another thing with that fucking Economos stalling scene, I just feel like so many scenes in the show were just like parody, where like it doesn't fucking matter that he's obviously fucking it up and
Yeah.
even drawing attention
Right.
to the two people
Right.
that are
Yeah.
doing something.
Right. Yeah, she said he can
He
see
just-
everything
yeah.
I do.
yeah.
They
At-
just get away with it, man.
No fucking point did I feel like Halperson was not looking at that
Right,
computer.
absolutely, it's right in
100%.
front of him.
100%. And to me, it was just like almost like that weird British comedy stuff that I still don't understand some of it. And he's over there just with these bad one-liner bullshit things. The best part of that was the post-credit
James
scene.
Gunn said he didn't know which one to put in.
I think he picked the wrong
He
fucking
fucking
one.
picked the
the
wrong
wrong
one.
Yeah.
one.
The fucking the
would've even
Massachusetts
made-
killer joke is so much fucking funnier.
And it would have made more sense
Yes.
because it actually distracted.
Yeah, it's so much fucking funnier. And then also the woman, I think she was in Superman also, fucking cracking up
Yeah.
afterwards.
yeah.
It's just so much better.
Yeah.
It
That's the
fucking-
part that would like have distracted them.
Yeah.
You know?
Even with the whole scene, with that whole setup there, I mean, if Lex Luthor was there running it, everybody would be quiet, doing their jobs, getting the job done. Now here they are, they're just fucking off partying the whole bit. It's just insane to me.
I'm going to be a nitpicker here. At the end of the movie, didn't they kind of like trash the control?
They destroyed the place.
All right.
Yeah,
So now, if none of Lex's
the
crew-
dog actually
Well,
beat him up
right.
and
Yeah,
wrecked
I
the
figured
place.
the
Yeah,
room
with
would have been
fight.
trashed. No one could use the machinery. So if Lex's crew wasn't there anymore because, and who would have come in to restore it?
Yeah,
Well, did they destroy it?
I thought they did.
It looked like the room was pretty beat up.
I don't think they destroyed it. I think
And then why would you leave it active if you're arresting everybody? If everyone's going to jail?
I didn't think that it was destroyed. I just thought it was like
You didn't think
like
so?
they like broke through the window and then Crypto like knocked some shit around. Kinda.
It is also just weird that like, oh, they need this to
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
activate whatever.
I mean, to me, it looked like when he first sat down, all he did was turn the fucking thing on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
And not for nothing, I think Economos could have probably
I'm sure.
broken into most of that stuff.
Well, again, he probably didn't want him.
Mhm.
Fly didn't want him, and also he was in another universe at the time, getting fucking stabbed by Peacemaker's dad.
Yeah. Hand healed really quickly.
You're right.
He's Clayface.
No,
That fucking Clayface.
no tendon damage.
The 11th Street Clayface kids, whole fucking team. Another thing that kind of bugged me was like Sasha Bordeaux. I understand why she would not want to be sided with them anymore, because like she's a metahuman herself. They're doing this whole thing where they're going to trap metahumans, and people that she works with are dying. But then like when she has the meeting with Amelia, I don't know, she's like, oh, my friends and shit at this. I didn't think she like was so fucking buddy with any
No.
of those people.
Yeah.
She
Did
was
we-
sort of
did-
cold to
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah.
that's what I
Did
was
we
about to
see
say.
her do anything metahuman?
Well, she's
The
cyborg.
eyeball, that was
eye,
it. Just
yeah.
the
That was
eye.
it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing over strength or anything,
No.
which she has to. She's half her body. Is
I was thinking maybe
mechanical,
she
what
was
have you.
just awake because she didn't need to sleep. Something. I don't know.
So
I was thinking that
I was
too.
so excited for her and Harcourt to actually duke it out. 'Cause
Well,
I
that was the other
curious
thing, yeah.
To see how she would fight.
Mm-hmm.
None of that.
Yeah,
None of
no.
it.
That
I wanted
I
to
don't
see
know.
Hardcourt fight Hardcourt.
Yeah, that would have been
that
cool.
would have been cool.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that would've been
think.
cool.
I just don't think she like. I'm glad that didn't happen because I mean that's just like the one bit of world building where like oh she wouldn't be this fucking badass in a
But at least one
with the racists.
punches the other one out to get out of there. At least.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, one pulls out a Luger. 999.
Oh God, that would have been funny. At the end of one, though, when they beat the flies and they're walking, and the other people from the DCU come and fly in and
Yeah,
everything, and he just tells them, "You're fucking late, fucking assholes. Go fuck another fish."
Go
And-
fuck a dolphin.
and the Flash, he says, "No, that's. I wish people would just stop. That's not true." And Flash goes, "Yeah, it kind of is."
I thought it was weird that this whole plan is actually being enacted because it has to go through the Secretary of State guy.
Defense,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
yeah.
And they
And-
had that little round table meeting.
I don't know. It's just like funny to me that he fucking said no to this plan once,
Mhm.
and then it basically was just brought to him again
Yeah.
in different form, and this time he was coerced into saying
Yeah.
yes. Maybe because Flagg is on the side of it now.
I can see it.
I don't know. With Lex Luthor behind it.
I can see
I mean,
it
yeah,
working
Luther's still behind it.
Yeah.
for villains that are captured by
Mm-hmm.
Superman and Batman,
Yeah,
whatever, all
yeah.
metahumans.
Mhm.
Just basically throwing them in there. But I can't see it working against people that are the heroes,
Yeah, yeah.
because you still have to capture them
Mhm.
and bring them to this doorway.
Yeah.
And to me, it's not such a big fucking deal anyway. I mean, there's people out there that
I mean, there's also like the question of how is this gonna be a thing where Superman and Lex Luthor have to team up? And the only guess that
It's to
I
get out
have
of.
is that they turn on Luthor and they put Luthor in there.
Oh, my other thing is, remember Luther's dimension? Was that also a prison?
It was.
Yeah.
So why doesn't Argus just use his?
Because his
It
was
was
unstable.
Oh fuck yeah.
And they can only keep it open for like a few seconds at a time, and it caused a rift.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that little smidget.
Can't say that anymore. James Gunn has claimed that Peacemaker Season 2 finale directly sets up Creature Commando Season 2 and Lanterns.
I don't see how.
James Gunn claims that all of Peacemaker's main characters will return in an upcoming DCU project that will be released not too long from now.
That I agree with. Don't lose these characters.
No,
'cause these
no,
characters are great.
100%. Do you think it's going to be live action, or do you think it's going to be
Animated.
animated?
I mean, I think Commandos Season 2 will be animated.
Animated.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
might, if it's the project that they all show up in, it might be Waller, which
Yeah.
is animated.
Mhm.
Or Man of Tomorrow.
Well, can you just say that Peacemaker wasn't even going to be touched on in
I
that?
don't fucking trust a thing that James Gunn says now. He said that there was going to be fucking
Cameos.
huge
Yeah.
cameos,
True.
and he didn't show
I
anyone
think
in his final 3 episodes.
If there was any cameos, it was the Burger Place, maybe, which
Like,
I
he's-
think is from a Superman
He
story.
It was
is
in the
known as
Superman
like a
movie.
guy who's like very industry and he like knows the industry,
Mhm.
but I feel like he has to understand that like if he keeps just fucking lying to like promote shows and like he
Mhm.
did it with the Flash,
Yeah.
he's just losing credibility.
Yeah. We had one of the comments on last week's where they said, well, if James Gunn is saying it's going to be this great thing, it's going to suck. And
Oh,
what?
wow.
That person was right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, I don't I don't agree completely because I mean like Superman was good,
Mm-hmm.
Guardians were good.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
I just think like he says it regardless because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Well,
also like he's lying is more important to me. He fucking lied about cameos.
I'm happy that Supergirl and Lanterns are not written or directed by James Gunn,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because I think we need a break from just James Gunn's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, like Peacemaker Season 2 is kind of like bringing my biggest fear of the DCU to life, where it's like there's no one to just like tell James Gunn no and dial things back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much shit in Season 2 where it's like, this is just stupid.
Yeah.
100%.
We need different voices, and there has to be someone in the room that can like help bring it all together. Because I mean, he even said on the podcast how many times like,
Saffron told him.
well, that Saffron had some input on stuff, and then just so much shit was like improvised.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think back to season 1. I mean, to episode 1 of this season, where the big thing was Chris was looking for work. He wanted to be part of a team, and he never found that, except when he went over to his other dimension with his
Family.
other family,
Mm-hmm.
where he was part of a team, but he killed that guy that was him on that team to
Well,
get
now
it. But he
now he's
never.
on Checkmate.
Yeah, but then he was never part of a team getting paid to be a superhero or what have you. It never really happened. Yeah, checkmate. That happened, and then he's taken and thrown
Well-
over into a another dimension.
Yeah. Also,
I don't-
thinking back,
yeah.
it's so weird that like they even had the Justice Gang
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
I don't know.
and they were making fun of him.
Yeah,
that was.
I don't know. It just seems like they would probably get involved if like Rick Flagg, the head of this big agency, teamed up with Lex Luthor.
It's even more weird that with all these doorways popping up,
Mhm.
that no other hero would
None of
notice
them have anything to do with
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it, you know.
You get zombies and you get imps that want to fuck Tim Meadows.
Yeah. No, I mean, just like the actual door, like a Mr. Terrific or whatever. Somebody should be aware that this shit is happening because
Yeah.
look what just happened and almost happened to
Yeah.
But no, it's just Argus and Argus doing whatever the hell they want. Flagg doing whatever he wants.
I don't know. So many
Strange.
storylines
It's
just,
strange.
just
Weird.
thrown out here, too.
He said, "We knew salvation was a part of our future. I didn't know I was going to put it here. We knew it was part of the DCU plan. I told him what it was, and Peter goes, oh, you've got to put that in there."
Yeah, he wasn't original. Like, he had said that the season 2 finale initially ends after, like, the victory lap scene, and there was no throwing Peacemaker into Salvation.
That would have been worse.
That
Honestly.
would have been worse,
That
yeah.
probably would have been bad.
Like, I think it's more frustrating that it happened, but it also would have just been more hollow if it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But that's,
Yeah.
like, to me, they have to know that that's the only place they can go now,
Yeah.
is the Salvation run.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But none of us knew that before the last 5 fucking minutes of this season,
Yeah.
which sucks because there was no direction. No one
And it's
had
like,
ever.
I don't know, even if, like, the whole thing kind of wraps up in 5 minutes to get us to the next thing, you could have still had this great season where
Correct.
at the end of it, they throw Peacemaker there.
They
Yeah.
could have found out in the first episode that this is what Argus is planning on doing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're looking for a homeworld to put metahumans on.
Yeah.
You know,
Or even just given, like,
and
a
then
hint
give
to
us
it.
a story, 8 freaking episodes of a story, either trying to stop it or just.
Yeah.
But no,
The whole thing is just so inconsistently and all over the place written.
Yeah. And we had such hopes of who we were going to see pop up in this.
But,
you
like,
know?
again, I don't even
And-
give a
and
shit about
nothing.
the cameos.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
a bad season of television.
you
Well,
had great
I agree.
actors. Give us a good freaking story for them to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Favorite
not my favorite
episodes?
piece of.
I surprisingly, I think my favorite episode is 2. I feel like then we were thinking, like, oh, this is going to be a filler episode. But I just think, like, that is still probably just my favorite episode. I don't know.
What was 2?
It was the one where Flurry was introduced.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like 3 things happened, but still, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you had substance there that something could happen. There's a story coming out of this.
Yeah.
But it just turned into nothingness. And even the one story we thought was going to happen with the
Earth X.
it just turned out to be nothing.
Yeah, that.
Nothing.
I mean, I was like, wow, he killed himself. Holy shit. Where the fuck are we going with this? And I
Yeah.
kind of imagined him going into that world to replace him, but
taking it over.
I don't know. If I had to pick a favorite, like, it's probably the pilot episode of this season. Honestly, it was kind of just like a downhill ride for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree.
Still no explanation, like, why there's 2 universes that got the same circumstances to have fucking Augie Smith find this alien and I guess kill it probably
Yeah.
to get the dimensional portal.
Yeah.
Just doesn't.
It is insane that there's 2 universes that are the exact
we know
same,
of.
except one of them the Nazis one.
Yeah.
And then every other universe is just like fucking silly.
off the wall.
Balingus
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
spider
Nazis
fucking
won, but
skulls.
like it doesn't even really matter because
Yeah.
everything's the same except there's slavery, but that doesn't really change.
But it
how
doesn't
people
matter
work.
because like you never have to see it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have a greater purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
There's like definitely things in this season where it's like there was potential and this is actually like semi well done, but I don't know. None of it really connected in a way that was in any way satisfying for me.
I know.
No.
You didn't think it was so fucking cool when they played like 2 songs?
Look, I
In
didn't even know
entirety?
that Foxy Shazam was a real band until after
True.
this episode.
Exactly.
I thought Foxy Shazam was some black woman, to be honest.
I thought it was just like one of those Mighty Crabjoy things where like James Gunn made it up.
And that just went on so long. That one. I mean, they were there for that whole
And then like
song.
I just fucking could not stand Peacemaker like finding out that Harcourt actually does like it's like high school fucking middle school level writing of just like, oh, she does love me, and then like he fist pumps and then Foxy Shazam plays.
Yeah.
Some of the writing were like, yeah, they're pretty good. And it's just like, it's so like out of place. Just like nobody would say this at a fucking concert.
Yeah.
Like that bit where he was doing the fist pumps kind of reminded me of the end of Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Where he does that, and I was just like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. This
It
like
just had so much more sense at the end of
after
Breakfast Club.
the Adebayo monologue where they all like say that they love Peacemaker, this episode just goes off the fucking rails in just like the worst ways possible.
Something about that scene too is it just felt like a stage play where like I just felt like the fucking like lights were about to fade and they were all gonna bow.
Basically fucking happened. They all walk out.
You're right.
One pill a day is everything for me. Checkmate can cause fucking diarrhea, bloating.
Fucking blindness, hopefully.
I was
Bird
a little
blindness.
annoyed
Did you
with
call him
his
hot dog finger?
conversations with the guard in the jail.
Mm-hmm.
When the guard was just, people came to visit you. You're either in that state of depression where you're like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm the angel of death.
Yeah, that's just and then him making fun of him.
Because like
We have the angel of
I
death.
kind of
here.
get it from like
Death angel.
the standpoint of like, oh, he's like in this state, but like it's obviously his fault, and it's just like it's stupid to everybody else. But it's just like it's played as a joke. You're playing it as a
Yeah.
joke, and it's I don't know.
Didn't do
It's
anything.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's funny that something from season 1 is like it ended with him like seeing his fucking father, and like they mentioned that for like one line in this. I guess that was gonna be a whole plot point.
Yeah, he sits down on the thing with his next to his father, like, "Yep, you're gonna be with me forever."
Such a better like cliffhanger, just like set
100%.
up for the next season, where it's like, oh, this is
Yep.
something we're gonna deal with, I guess. But nope, gotta fucking retcon everything out.
All right. I think
Overall
I've shot my
ratings
load
for
here.
Peacemaker season 2.
The entire season, I'm at a 4 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
And that's because I love the characters. The actors definitely gave it their all, but there was no fruit on this tree to grab onto.
It's definitely one of the worst things that James Gunn has written. And I think we already said it, but it shows that he was writing and directing 3 things at the time.
Yeah, a little distracted, yes.
I'm going to give this episode a 2 because it gave me nothing that was
Yeah.
promised.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give the series, I'm going to give them a 4.5, only because, like we said, we love the characters and the acting. But they didn't have much of a story to play with this time.
No. And bad direction.
So far, my ratings for like each episode is 4, 6, 4, 3, 4, 4, 5, 4, 2.
Yeah.
What did you rate Commandos as a whole?
Probably like a 6.
I feel like we were around like
Yeah.
a
Kinda
6.
like
I
Commandos.
think I
Yeah.
said 7.
Yeah,
I
I have
would
it a
look-
5 actually.
I would look forward to live action Commandos. I was hoping we were going to see Phosphorus or even
The Bride.
The Bride. I would love to see The Bride, but I thought we were going to see in the Nazi world.
I Robot.
Yeah.
G.I. Robot.
Yeah,
G.I.
G.I. Robot.
Buy a
Yeah.
robot.
Buy Robot.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah, so far,
Yeah.
everything out of the DCU aside from Superman has been this kind of underwhelming
Yeah.
thing. Commandos is like
Blue Beetle
okay.
included.
I don't include fucking Blue Beetle.
I do.
You include Blue fucking Beetle?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna get retconned into like being a DCU movie. I mean, like it doesn't really.
I think
Talk
the
about anything
character
else.
is going to get retconned into being into the DCU.
I'm just saying, like you can easily. There's nothing you have to remove from that or retcon from it for it to fit within the DCU fully.
Maybe? I don't know. I'd have to think about that probably. But like it'll probably get retconned the same way that like fucking 2016 Suicide Squad got retconned in. Like
Yeah.
he'll just pick and choose what he wants from it.
I'm just saying, like it's not a DCU project, but I think it'll be a part of it.
Did you hear about the new show that he's coming out with?
Well,
Giant man with crocodile skin, fucking glowing-eyed twink in the ass. It's still like the best line from the whole series, I think. Lex. Hearing Lex say that is just objectively funny.
make some good sushi.
Anyway, majority of what's come out of the DCU so far has been kind of underwhelming, and this promise of like a huge connecting universe kind of sort of hasn't really happened yet.
Yep.
I know we're only 3 projects.
That's another
in.
thing why like the whole metahuman fucking lock 'em up thing doesn't work. It's like
Trump.
it doesn't work because like we fucking haven't seen any other than like Superman and the Justice League gang.
Yeah, and like Supergirl's fucking whole thing is like off-world
Yeah.
too. And then Lanterns is off-world.
Yeah.
I think they're in space.
I don't think so, honestly. I think it's gonna be mostly Earth. To be honest.
Okay.
You can't keep them in prison. They break out every week. Every week,
I mean,
someone's
that's
breaking
fucking
out.
true,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It also seems like fucking early to do this in the
I know.
DCU.
But
We don't even have Batman
yeah,
Again,
yet.
I'm going back to season 1 where Peacemaker's trashing on Batman. Oh, Batman keeps putting the same people into jail every week, and every week he breaks out and kills 20 more
Well-
people. Just kill him.
You also have to like
Yeah.
Peacemaker season 1 is also now in the boat of like we're picking and choosing what's canon.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I kind of think that like I kind of knew that like the DCU was going to this point because like a while ago before Creature came out, like I remember him saying that like there's this whole world where like metahumans are like an ongoing problem or whatever for humans. So I don't know.
I don't know. It would be funny, I think, for us to like look back at his initial Gods and Monsters announcement slate and just see like what has happened since then. The Authority show is gone.
Somebody just needs to
Fucking-
start tracking his claims in general, I
Yeah.
think. Because, I mean, like, he's just a fucking
Isn't that
marketing
what we're
liar.
supposed to do?
Yeah,
Maybe,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do.
The
start
Authority
tracking
show's
his-
gone. The
Yeah.
Waller show is yet to be greenlit.
Yeah.
I don't know. At some point, we're supposed to get like a Swamp Thing movie too.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I
don't
would
know.
love if the Waller thing came out and actually really held a lot of shit together.
Maybe because like her daughter is now in charge of Checkmate.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that can't be a good thing.
And Supergirl. is-
Supergirl is coming out. So yeah, I guess our next two things is going to be Lanterns, which is early 2026, and then Supergirl July 26 or June, late June maybe.
I think July, because it's with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm ahead of
Very
God, I guess.
disappointing.
All right. Yeah. Let us know what you guys thought about Peacemaker season 2, even if
sure you will.
fucking hate us and want to be mean in the comments.
That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for all the comments we got last episode,
Yeah.
even
We
though
We
majority
stand behind what we say.
didn't agree with us, but
But it's not even that. It's that just like the majority that didn't agree with us was just like, you're not giving points why. You're just saying
Yeah.
that we're bad.
Yeah. Whatever. I still appreciate people commenting, regardless if they agree
Well,
with us or
certainly.
not. So we will see you guys back in the DCU sphere for Lanterns, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.